What's Gucci, everyone? I hope you're having a great day. You all look beautiful today. And today, I want to make another video on problem 2 in the Project Euler series, which is, just all these nice kind of handy-dandy math problems that you can work on and do. And I decided to take a break from watching conspiracy videos. I was watching some 9/11 conspiracy videos, and they've really got me thinking. Very interesting things. I don't know if you're into kind of that opposite thinking. But in this video, we're going to work on this Fibonacci problem. So, if you don't know, I got the problem in the comments here. Each new term in the Fibonacci sequence is generated by adding the previous two terms starting with 1 and 2. So maybe sometimes you think it's 0 and 1. This problem says 1 and 2. I have no complaints. By considering the first term in the Fibonacci sequence whose values do not exceed 4 million, find the sum of the even value terms. So it's find the sum of all Fibonacci numbers less than 4 million, right? Okay, so the way we're going to do this is in Ruby, we're going to make something called an enumerator. And what the enumerator is going to do is it's going to return all of the kind of terms to us, and so then we can kind of use simple math with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an enumerator, and what enumerator is going to do is it's going to keep on kind of churning out the Fibonacci numbers and giving me them as I go along. So I'm going to make my first term and call it A, and then I'm going to make my second term and call it B, and we're going to call it 2. And then so I have A and B, and so since those are the first things, the first terms that I want, I'm going to yield those two because I need to yield A and I need to yield B. So when I ask the numerator for another number, the first number it's going to give me is 1. The second number it's going to give me is 2. And so now I want to do the loop to add them together. And the way to create an infinite loop in Ruby is as follows. You do loop, do, and then end. So loop is a function that basically says infinite loop. And that's okay in enumerator because enumerators can be infinite. And so what I want to do in this case is I want to simply, what do I want to do? I want to yield. And yield kind of just means return, but it means return but not stop. So it's going to keep on going even when I return. So that's pretty cool, even when I yield. So what do I want to yield? I want to yield A plus B. And remember in Ruby, I don't need parentheses, something else I love about it. And so now what I want to do, I believe, is what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to kind of, now I need to kind of set everything go. So what I want to do here is I am going to simply make sure that A gets set to B, but then I need B to get set to A plus B. And so the way I'm going to do that is with something called parallel signage. So it's going to take the value of B and assign it to A. So it's going to take B, which is 2, and assign it to A. And then it's going to take the value of A plus B, which is 3, and assign that to B. So then the next loop is 3 plus 2, which is 5, which is my next Fibonacci sequence. And just to see that, if I'm right on this, I'm going to do some testing. And so let's do that. And I'm going to do Fibonacci.take. And I'm going to say take, I'm going to do Fibonacci first. And let's take the first 10 numbers. And let's, I got an error right here. No given block yield. Oh, you know why? Because I needed to do, gosh, guys, I am such an idiot. I need to do yielder.yield because the enumerator is getting getting a block object that I need to be able to yield on. So I need to call yielder.yield to be able to yield properly. If that does not make sense at all, that is a table explanation, but now it's giving me, oh, you know why? I know why it's giving me that. It's giving me all these numbers, but 1, 2, don't worry about that bottom number. That's the answer. I just have that printing out at the bottom, so we can check that at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55. Okay, and 89. So yeah, look, I was able to get the first 10 terms of the Fibonacci sequence. So let's do this the cool way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some quick, enumerator magic, and I'm going to do take while. And when I do take while, I'm going to do take while, so I can say I can kind of do my Fibonacci thing, and the enumerator is going to keep giving me numbers. And what I can do is I can say take while n. I can do take while, and then I can pass it in a block, and I can say the condition that I want the block to pass. And what I'm going to say is I want the block to to keep on generating numbers until it's 4,000, until I have 4 million. And so then I want to sum all, and I want to sum everything in the array. So let me make sure that this all runs with no errors. And so I take while, these are all. I take while, these n is less than 4,000. And so also now something I want to do is I want to get rid of all of the odd numbers in my array. And so the way I do this is I simply call a select statement. And so what select is going to do is I'm going to use select here to filter out the numbers. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Ruby kind of context, and I'm going to say, okay, oops, I spelled even wrong. I'm going to say, okay, take all the Fibonacci sequences less than 4,000. The underscores here are just a way of Ruby working. It works like this, or it works like this with the underscores. It's just good practice. It's really easy to read the number that way. And then I can select the numbers from that array to only get the even number. So this select statement is going to filter it down to just even numbers, and then simply I can just inject the sum of those even numbers like I did in the first part. I can run this problem, and then also I can put a puts here to print it out. And I get the same number because I also have the answer that I wrote up earlier, which I know is right because I've proven it through the work of the internet that it's handy and dandy, baby. Yeah! And as you can see, I'll say this number properly, right? It is 4,613,732. And yeah, that's what I think is a pretty easy way to do problem number 2. Post if you think there's a better way to do it, and have the best day of your lives, guys.
Hi again, everyone. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys for liking, subscribing, and commenting on this video. If you want to watch more videos of the same category, you can click over here. And if you want to watch any new videos and learn something new, you can click over here. Have the best day of your life.